21 minutes past the hour of 9 p.m. This is Radio Pacis, 94.5 FM, Peace of Christ for all. My name is do have a talk show hosting the presidential candidate for Forum for Development, Forum for Democratic Change, that is Honorable Nandala Mafabi, who is already in the building. In the first hour, he deliberated on a number of issues, and once again, we are back on board. We shall be running up to 10 p.m. But earlier on, the coordinator, Northern Uganda, that's Cap Fungaro, had told us, due to unavoidable circumstances, there are team members who could not make it as at that time, but he has now come along with them. They have joined us. Yes. Let's have them on board briefly before we get the president back.
Yeah, thank you very much, dear listeners. As I indeed informed you, some of our key members on the ground, they are also candidates, were on the way. They have now made it here. We would like equally to give them the time to introduce themselves, and then we'll come back to our presidential candidate, His Excellency Nathan Nandala Mafabi. I'm Honorable Fungaro Kapsasa, Deputy President of this Northern Uganda. It's up on you.
Okay, let's start with the woman MP candidate for Maracha.
Good evening, listeners. Thank you for tuning in to Radio Pacis. We are so honored to be here this evening. I'm called Nasia Liz Lillian, the woman candidate for Maracha District on Forum for Democratic Change ticket. And we are so delighted that today we are speaking to our people of West Nile, and we are aware that the issues we are speaking out are very pertinent, and it is time for us, people of West Nile, to embrace change, because the 40 years has not benefited us. We are in studio with someone who is ready to fix the economic problems of Uganda, and that is the most critical issue that is affecting us, biting us every day and night, and that is poverty. And there is a presidential candidate who is ready to fix the economy, and that is none other than Honorable Nathan Nandala Mafabi. He is someone who is an expert who can handle the issues. West Nile, I want to tell us that this time round, let us say no to deception. Let us embrace change, and we are going to see the West Nile that we had, that had leadership, that we are holding government accountable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That is Honorable Masia Lizzie, who was also the host of the presidential candidate in Maracha.
Yes.
I hope I'm right.
Yes.
Okay, yes, Big Man, you're most welcome to Radio Pacis.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mauripi afe olfemidangiri, ma room zaidi kemisi, ma former LC3 chairman Olieri, ma mayor Arua City Central Division, AC Okbanumbe Mutsi, heart of the city center, ma Agundrabani Ruta, address candidate in parliament Arua Central Division 3, ma Imira Amarwa President Madrid Pierre, Adjalo Mini Olidia, Amangaze to pass it. Rale Madri Ambu President Berengadre, Arua Primaria, Amangero Roma, or Minigir Canife, Toroso Putia Mana Motorle, Ma Timanipie, and the city deco, Arenga Radus in our form.
Our reform boy speaks with a lot of passion, and I saw the president, nodding to each and every point he was making. For starters, Honorable is actually our own right here. So shortly before we actually have the translation of the communication from the president in the local languages, we are potentially going to have Lugbarati translation, and also can we have Maditi?
No, Lugbarati is enough.
Okay. And without wasting a lot of time, earlier on, you had commented on a number of issues in there, but let's get back to you as you conclude before we can go for the translations.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to run a manifesto on the website, but we're going to give you a hard copy. There are things which are quicker where I want to run through. We have talked about health, and the health was saying all referral hospitals will be turned into national hospitals, and health center fours will become referral hospitals, well equipped with equipment, with medicine, and with health workers well paid. I want to state here that nowhere is it written that good equipment can't be in Uganda. There is not going to be any medical tourism. The medical equipment which is in India, which is in South Africa, which is in the UK, wherever, they will be brought here for people of Uganda to be treated here. Then we have issue of leadership and governance. We are saying corruption, we're going to fight it without fear and favor, and we're going to eliminate it by the seriously. Then the debt, which we are talking about, Uganda debt is now over 150. They are telling you 126, 130. No, nobody knows, but it is over 150 trillion. That means every Uganda, as we speak now, if you are born, you have a debt of over 3 million shillings.
Oh no, corruption, Honorable, are you going to arrest those caught culpable? What are you going to do specifically?
You see, corruption is very easy. You have seen even what they told you, there's internal Auditor General's IGG report. There is also Auditor General's report. These are going to be implemented accordingly immediately. You see, the corruption is very known. Let me give an example. A road is being done, it's supposed to take 20 years. In 2 years, the road is what? Or 1 year, the road is spoiled. The person who was supposed the contract should come and answer. Why should he not run for scot-free?
Okay.
And if you don't make it good, you go and understand from where, and there will be confiscation of property, which is allowed.
Okay.
Yeah. So that you cannot say you're talking about terrorism money while you're not talking about stealing of public money here.
Okay.
So the corruption, we're going to handle it as the Auditor General and the Internal Auditor General reports are concerned. The debt burden, yes, recently even the government went and borrowed 8.3 trillion for infrastructure in a commercial bank. These are going to stop. We're not going to deal with government. That means Uganda is about to collapse bankrupt. And you remember Uganda one time was beyond Singapore. Now Singapore is the first one, we're still buying. I want to assure you that these commercial bank loans are not going to be tolerated. We're going to restructure all these debts in a short time of 2 years. You see the man of Burkina Faso, the man came in just 2 years, he has paid all the debts and the country is free. This one are going to be done. And we have a lot of money in the country which will deal with the debt so that we reduce debt burden from Uganda. Our priority is we want Ugandans to enjoy their lives. And of course, whatever we're talking about is to aim that people should have money in their pockets. Our tax base is going to be widened in the sense that because we're going to create jobs, all the youth will have jobs, mothers will have money to make because small businesses are going to be given capital so that they go and invest in their capital. Businesses go up without being taxed. The tax exemptions will be given more to Ugandans than foreigners so that Ugandans will tax, the invest incentives should be given more to the locals. Because when the locals make money, it stays here. But the foreigners take it. When they are talking about the economic growth in this country, it's for foreigners, not for Ugandans. So that now the tax base will be widened, we'll have more, people will pay very little tax. We're going to reduce the tax rates. You remember graduate tax, when you said we have scrapped the graduate tax, we would scrap it when? When we talk about going to reduce tax, we mean it because I'm a tax expert. We are going to increase the tax base and then whatever, instead of paying 30%, people will pay between 5 to 10% so that they have more money. Now, for example, instead of buying half a kilo of sugar, you buy a kilo or 2. Now, when you buy 2 kilos, you're paying more little tax, but many people will be consuming, and the welfare of the people will go high. That means the increase the tax, we shall reduce our debts within 2 years, they should be paid off, and our people will be paid, even civil servants. We're talking about teachers, but civil servants will be paid very well. We are going to remove this issue of civil servant waiting for a quarterly release. They must not be, they will be there to work, and they will have what we call time sheet to say what time did you enter, what did you do in a day. If you're an agriculture officer, you must be an agriculture officer. If you're a health officer, you must be a health officer. You must do your work. So that one, we want to pay them the civil servants well, and they will be there in time to see what they have done so that you will get value for money. And we're going to do value for money, everything, whether construction and what. Now this construction, these projects, contracts will be given more to locals. The youth, for us to be able to create employment in the youth, they will be given. Now, supposing we are doing a road, you say the youth, you are the one to bring stones, you are going to bring the sand, you are going to bring the water and whatever. They will do it, and they will be earning money. They will form their circles, their cooperative societies. I want to remove groups. I want to remove groups which are cheating our mothers and fathers, our brothers and sisters. These are
what kind of groups are those?
You have seen on Sundays people have a group sitting, trying to sit to mobilize the money among them 5,000 to go and pay the money lenders to do what? No, that one's not going to be there. You are going to go to the bank, commercial, cooperative bank, agriculture bank, get your money at no interest, and you'll be there to get money.
Some of those will say they are also, key players in the private sector.
No, the private sector is...
Aren't you going to be hard on them?
No. The groups I'm talking are those groups which are... let me give an example. A cooperative society is a group. That's allowed by whatever. Why don't you make your cooperative society of us who are going... And you can only save when you have excess. If you don't have excess, you save. But also you can get credit from those cooperative societies. I'm not going to allow you to go and get credit from a micro, from a money lender. Because this is where the money is going. We're going to bring cooperatives so that...
But the fear or the worry that the local person would have is that when I go to the bank, it is also a very, very hectic process to borrow money, and that's how they end up with the money.
Cooperative societies are going to work because everybody knows himself. The tomato cooperators, the whatever will be there. Okay. And then there will be the main one, which is the union. And these are going to be monitored by government to ensure that they have to assist these rural ones to move up. Are you getting it? So this one, nobody will go to a money lender anymore, which is killing our people. Now, also when we talk about salaries, they will be, what have been fought, and August is here, minimum wage. Our girls and house girls, some are cutting sugar canes, they are cheated, and whatever. There's going to be a minimum wage.
Of how much?
You see, a minimum wage must be able to take care. I've gone to work in Kakira Sugar Works. I must have money to pay rent. I must have money to eat food. I must have money to transport myself. I must have money to really
rest,
and I must have rest days. I'm not a criminal that I should work 30 days so that I'm able to live, even when I should have breaks and whatever. So these are going to work out. So these are going to be computed with experts to know what's the minimum wage. And we'll compute and say, this year, this is the minimum wage. And the people will get jobs. And if you don't accept the minimum wage, you'll have repercussions to be dealt with as an employee. I run businesses. My businesses, I compute my wages for my staff, and they must have minimum wage. If you ask anyone, you say no, what we get is able to pay my rent, is able to transport me, is able to buy food, and if I feel sick, the company pays medical attention. So we're going to now, like that one on governments who have told you, justice delayed is justice denied. We're going to make sure that justice is dispensed, not political justice. And we're going to make sure that the term limits are brought back. They removed them. The age limit is brought back because at 70, yes, you're a human being, but sometimes your capacity is not like a person who is 60, who is in 50s, so that a president should have what? Age limits. And the legislation should be real registration. And we are going to say the Ngozi will be in parliament. You see, like people like Ngozi when he is debating, I like him. He talks for people of Uganda. And now why West Nile you are having a problem is that you have only one oppositional MP. You have removed the Fungaro, you have removed the other. So I want you to this time to embrace the opposition. And that's why I feel hard when some women, they are telling women that when you vote, don't vote Museveni, there will be war. Is Museveni at the front to fight? Is even, we have UPDF, is a Uganda People's Defense Force. Unless somebody is saying it's not our force. We have Uganda Police Force. It's not Museveni force, it's not Ankole force. It is Uganda Police Force. You have Uganda prison. So Mama, my daddies, don't worry, there will be no war. Uganda is now at peace. We have solved that one. Now the problem with the war you have is the insecurity in the pocket. That's why we say we want to fix this economy, and you have money in the pocket. We want men to become men and not to be running out from their homes so that they can stay with their families. That one I want to assure you, and even now the people who intimidate people in the election, the person responsible for election is the Electoral Commission. Nobody should allow as a police or RDC or a DSO to be intimidated. If you have an issue of committed as an offense of election, you note it and send it to Electoral Commission. But you have no right to intimidate anybody. And these are things you should report. That's why some of the DPCs are losing jobs. Some of the, yes, you have seen there are some of the RDCs. You tell us they will be there too. They are not above the what? Above the law. Government scholarships, compensation, we have put a plan now to compensate everybody. And very well, I can tell you, we are the only one who have a plan to compensate ex-combatants. People have suffered from the war and whatever. That's why we have that period to deal with the youth, women, and the widows. You know, the widows, they suffer. The orphans, they plan, because those are people also in the society which should live their life which is of dignity. I want to make sure Ugandans don't stop being what? Beggars. They should be real people. This is their country. Nobody applied to God to be born here. The youth will have jobs so that our youth will stop going to play cards. You know, when you see them playing cards and taking, they're trying to pass time because they have no jobs and whatever will deal with that. These people's PWs, they will be held, also be dealt with. They will have their training school, they will have where to work, they will also be given government contracts, so that they're able to, they are not disabled that they cannot work, they have capacity to work. They have even some can use their heads, can use their hands, can use their legs, they are possible to do it. We are talking about the hereditary pension and veterans, which I've mentioned. Now even our hereditary, somebody who is 65 years plus will be paid a pension of 60,000 per month until you go and meet your creator. The religious leaders, we have a problem. Religious leaders are at the mercy of when they give a pickup to the imam, is it the district card, that's all. When they give a bishop or a pajero, that's all. No, we need a budget in the government. If you can give $230 million shillings, that is over. If I can give you over 800 billion to one person to compensate.
Okay.
But if you try to give this money to the religion, we have to have a budget for religious leaders so that they don't oppress their followers. You know, some people have run out from churches, from mosques, because they say we're building a mosque. People say that every Friday they are demanding, he runs away. Churches want people to go to churches, to go to the mosques and pray to God, not run away, but government will make a budget to deal with this. Then to deal with the other one which we have dealt with is to deal with the issue of cooperatives. We have mentioned it. I come with experience of this cooperative union. Right now, it kills 18,000. Okay. Because if they were not there, they will not get that 18,000 if the just cooperative union is there. So what I'm saying, we have capacity. That's why everybody wanted me to be the chairman of Uganda Cooperative Alliance. I said no. For now, I want to be the president of Uganda so that I'm able to deal with this problem.
Thank
now,
you.
the victims of Konye, whatever the cause, this will be handled. So we come here with a master plan to see that this country is for everybody. We are tired of being beggars in our country.
Some of you very much.
Yeah, just 1 minute. I've told you that I've been involved in many countries to deal with. I was involved in restructuring so many central banks, including the Bank of England, Kuwait. I have been involved in governments giving advice. We have given advice where countries have agreed with me. They have moved, like Tanzania, Kenya, India, Ghana, among those. So it shows that I come with experience in the economy, in taxation. You are aware I'm one of the best tax experts in the whole world. I'm one of the best financial managers in the whole world. So I come with this knowledge that I want to provide to people of Uganda. And I will do it for you because I want to be your servant. I'm not going to be a boss. To work for you and you see a change. That's why we're saying you lend us a vote for 5 years. The intimidation why they're lying you, that there will be war, no. The war you have already is very bad, the one of the poverty in the houses. I come with knowledge to deal with poverty in homes.
Thank you. Thank
now,
you.
finally, on this note, just one small note. And everybody, you see, that's why we're saying we want to fix the economy and have money in your pocket. Now, if we have money in the pocket, many things will be okay. Nobody can go to dance. Listen to me. Nobody can go to dance when he has no food in the stomach. So you need food before you go and dance. So we need to tell you, we come with a master plan, and I will request you to read our manifesto, which will give you hard copies, and the soft copy is there for you to look at.
Okay, dear listener, 0788956494. That is the SMS line. In case of any concerns, you are free to share it, and definitely the presidential aspirant on FDC ticket, Honorable Nathan Narula Mafabi, will be responding to you accordingly. But before we go in for that session, let me first get back to, of course, Honorable Ali to have a very quick translation, a summary of what, of course, the presidential aspirant has been deliberating on in Lugbarati. Then we get back on board.
Atamba Mafabi Nizeri Male Nyamini Beni Diamond where Lubertisi. Your work in Arua ni Iba Westnalani Ini Ochokamar de Arikichi. Ye mu Assistilende yilete mi nje yo waru ya kini wonda doda si Museveni kini anda ile yongere ngiride de yiri ayi mudi ile sende ba jebe midi ya mi fu eliyo se amve Museveni ni ba kinje eliyo kursi Museveni ji yondondondondu baru ni data emi ogaka baru ni data tandi kwaka baru ni oja tatu ado ba wiki eliyo ya sari siri PDM le ba mi sende fe Paris si million toro alo hydro titari ya silingi million toro alo le tamamu village alo alo village kadri medu modri iminga silingi su billion alo yini na silingi diminga azinga kili aga fazi balu ba madri lele da ba yondonduru maru oja tedera fara koke ba maza koreko yi suvino tita sar siria gamete bo tita ba ze madu kilo elioro bari kadi cha elioro bo badi ba gamete ya sende oguba de iji ide mu marife ba ni e kadi chichu yas akusele ba ze fokedo de ikini ba nu marife te mari ya jeruto e kata mari duno selengal futuro alani mi musumi of selengal futuro alo kalena te biasara mini chonga Uganda dia erenga mino rodi lerji mba alo dingoy ike fibo yile musende feba biasara adini manga zingani manga zoani manga njofeani lonyi la kadi tubo erenga ba woro mazako otita idria ibe yode yichi yicho yorke yera skoni iba zinga pe lonyi beri denga poli yichande mpiruko yanda zinga amuti amade sende trape banomve urebe yinga da yitukare yicha pari banomve commissioner ya yimuve na zidare ko bangi wudukuru di banomve World Bank rimu yidu ezia yinga zida iko suru tremaza bande yoini nzare rebara dike yodu yodeleba ikamu Kenya pia London pia si Tanzania pia si suru ambia mbedike iko imaza lioruki ofuzo elio malias yo inuni trade yele teji nyaku amado madia azi ngazo vino obima za kozo yo Europe Uganda dia ochokochokoro ki inichi askoni Mbappe inimbaba mauchi even ba keshi lipirindi yila yo de ki inga vino zidiki even ba musoro me yo ni Uganda dia namba alori suru amaria musoro ambamba alera skuno ogufi angere ogufipiri amutia ijiji peleka nkodi tajendo de isuki kini silingi na Uganda ele alalsi trilioni mudri iba ido titari ya askoni bakizi kini yimusilingi yini yoye fa village alalsi million toro alalisungwa idu di village ki Uganda elfu kalezir diniri village elfu kalezir diniri de ka yini silingi fa million toro alalo silingi de ka yo palero echakene silingi ji trilioni azir turtau silingi na ngavin trilioni iri achani tauchi bani chuayo eyo azirini eyo ini nzari ade yo ole yareko de yo ini azini ngabo ini chi echota ba Uganda ade ma azako rari yi ba wesina ale ade ile lo mini eminda tabezo eminda pamba pia orudi atawa pedra ke worote tabe merde dragberi gamete ko yor ma za pori zer le mi chi zuchu am very true adu de niko mina mi tabezo mi chon taba ojiku ike fibo yingamu na ekino ordi doke zoru kilo ogogo yivini ba chu wood kurdi ni pirari yibi kawa bugisu erozi yinanda efeso skawa majelo elfu tautoko san skawa kilo alo yozi wood kurdi selingi elfu modri ni aro yike fibo yinga fadi machukinda nezukini ba amadi sukilonyira amadi Uganda ya sar ba de pamba peso barike sikiberi bongo amarua warora amadi sudere pamba amadi dia silu monsali ere pamba ezoni azini ba mabusuru deke pamba ezoni te barika yo afar machu yo badiki ngene rudias le afar ezwale chekeni yo bador dalechi amada ngwada ola ni zomuke ti ola de baniri bazu meji silingi angiri ere wawa kini afazo ola ma da garwati bombe stach ola ma su ezida baka njiba jiuzi amvedele ajeni dola turna kaliaru sende dini ike sui katola ye kalwani micha sende to bada kachuti te yo Europe amarga bale bazi madre afatro kubani dini che wakoko ben ba ligogo aro baka yomudisi mimumu baka yomudosi mimuwi ni ngolero arko ba amade wasina la de chakidi ligogo agberi afani adeyima dria yours ka adria zima kalaria ba sukini amutibano mbe equal opportunities commission sukini ba Uganda makala amarolo razeni ba iri tuni furala ruki ba de kilo aziga metedia acheni mudri azi ya turu alude echeke na azimo obari ermu bazi kala azi adeni azimo obari mu ba etuni deri adeni ba leta de eyo de oto eyo de ngazo oto zu kilili lega mete makoba maza ba marde Uganda mu obari yamvu ya ba amvu ya bari ni chozo rodi suzukili le ba me do bangi azi ne ringa sene fe ba amvu de ni ba ni chozo rodi suzu ringa zi fe ba worni le ba me do bangi azi ma fe mari ba echibaru tu alu amutia dede yo ti yo ke bo odu asimi nyaka sanyaka ne drate odu asimi inzaro ye yo azini chi ba kini ikami nyaka sanyaka ka drate kan kusika chote kan kutuka vete gamete mo femi ibo titari ke bo azina famane ezodike leta afadike ba ma oje ya faze odinro e ko lezo admilu onga de ozi yiko olozi biruku leto olada ni ba mo turi me fo afazero afodiki woro ba wesina la feke hangu echozo factory ke bazo rate afadiki gamete ngazini ko media ni anzike echa ezikoko anjaze amavudi ale ke borbodo onzo yini mudu le kursi te pikpik maaje ambamba pikpik amarde erni fizu Uganda le talu sulu millionire te pikpik echa de pikpik mi mujas million na su azede ni ba fe mariru marindri mi ofe erisende mi ruwer duworo anjemete bongo dadi mi choro di spiko nzori ako yika gabo yimpipiki fe dani silingi milioni irisi mi sende ofeli ta ovutia mi nga sende ofeli ala sel futuru susu yini nersi eyori kinga orodriji afaza afama jeni tuzo marde angere musoro ambamba baka di oguwa tribo eringa fe musoro memvile musoro bana berle pasende jini madri kalinako leta made dozu tauchazu mudridia ba kidichi agberi musoro ni adri ambambara eyo azebene ba ni dichizo amarde atutun ba biasara dike ba amarde ke gamete du yitrotoko ichata sana kama na marga gapi KKTP ba diktabane orodi fe kolia ba do deke te yirele mine 7% de fe be yer ni ana soder pin ba fe billion turi ba zikana de akeni yaro de ba fe ni sende anja madaru de ma joki buzi okume bi bobi bandundu ni dichi be kone ba de maza ko ba bi madiko ike fibo sitas roko no ba ko anda za kuma billion turna dito sende azo woro angere bani chosta ba business ar maza ko trotorari ike fibo yimu yor maza ko ba zikive na mavudi ochokwa ba ziki imbuanzele okwa wizurule ba ndondu kanisa dile ba dikidichi otite evu chingazo mbuanze madri bizu otite edi chingazo awizi madri bizu otite avenichi ngazo ba kanisa ri maza kozo gamete kadicho sende ayo bada kanalera gamete choba kanisa ri maza ko kovon elusi amande yar kiveni nyaka senda chako elusi ni azinga tutro du ala serseli nya torna yika fe bo elusi moya embalo no madri elfo toro na yile yode yochi ale alere sende yini mu fe million toro ala elusi ki mutana mbane elusi ko fe muke ata basi katato mubwa ko mafazinje village yadan elusi ngana mi fidi yangone elusi mo ko ki gamete woro elusi site elusi amade ba mafu elusi Uganda village elfu kaliaziri ni iriki dichi yike fibo yile mu yo elusi de mazako amvu yazo tuzu na biorsi afazi kinda bombe district farmer institute pari ya memu amvu ba yango neroni minda mu tractor pidu afado odrak woro district amadikate yike fibo yile mu yo de mazako amado wesina ala de angogogo eka elfu milioni alo turu aziri bani ya akorike yo de ko yo kir ko agberi gameteni otito oti kili kursi ye bade otita yirdo ya yika efebo yinga na ekeni badri amaisu edunyaza madri ewakokoro sende Uganda ere ave badaka te bavini di mari dusi mari Uganda ro de tsada ni bilioni trilioni toro alukalito eka wabala Uganda arsi bala no madia sarsi mari milioni na mari mini nduni ni ko larike derba te yodo mate kati bata azakomesu gamete amarika azakoma ferto fe ba anvedi conclude leta deni ba Uganda adima isuki orodi embaba meyo onita mariar mo ngbo drate ike fibo yile mbaba ko fetrotro embaba na mbaba de rimba bunduchi esele choze Mbappe English idri peke kan kumu agarwa timba perpede na Mbappe bengon le Mbaba madeki mesuko ya trotro yinga mu na ekeni Mbaba sukulu anze adu manya kenya sukulu Mbaba majoki kwa sira anyo de becho ni ku typical diko ye leveni onite dozo classe alo chazo pere oku ambo university suzu bange su dane ye bade otita idri mahalia yika Gabon yinge yosuru aze Burkina Faso pene ya de ye bade ofeki mari idri ro duanga guru niga mete buzu ngwari andia yini ga si yo Uganda like de o mi odi askoni Museveni ebe azingeli kalisu ateli taudi akatato Museveni vote berati Museveni ngadi yo azo ojako yile divini bile nduliza fe ba madu marani ro
8 minutes to the top of the hour. We can conclude so that we pick a few calls from our
yile divini bile nduliza fe ba chande fe ba agunin azio peta de re amutiba no electoral commission adre askar maziko adre disi maziko leba akubara ma ngaki mazi ba ka min chande fe ko le mini yo adare atiri sira mi driyor modu kwa ma warole amangamo yo azide maza kwani ba yo kini e kam 7 ni peko adini ngarchi adiri doni ba askar dike askar Uganda de police Uganda de bo fesen de Uganda de si ba de adike ba zo ma fazi akueru mayo in lernen ko ayota kichi nazo ba de mangaki.
Let's pick some callers. Okay.
What for? Yes,
good evening.
Yes, good evening. Whom are we talking to?
You are talking to me as City in Concord District, Sarasam County.
Yes, Godfrey, talk to us.
I want to congratulate the candidate of FDC.
Okay.
He talked of something concerning about the reduction of poverty. Absolutely right. He talked of teacher. I said pretty right. Now my question to him is, things like the history of Uganda way back in 1990 up to now, the issue of corruption has grown of recently. It has gone very high. To fight corruption this time, it has gone very high. And what mechanism is he going to do as far as the East corruption is reduced in Uganda? 1. 2, he talked of, because as I'm speaking now, I'm one of the disabled boys. He talked of just this training where disabled boys, people can get, so that they can get a good welfare. If I can remember in 2022, the 30th December when the today was organized in Kororo, Museveni mentioned a policy that only the first several guys to be trained in the Chankwai. Up to now, we are still waiting the issue. Thirdly, in Uganda now, this is time people are voting what? They are voting with party, they are voting with personality, they are voting with party, minus the key. It is supposed to be the key is used for switching the path. Thank you.
Thank you, Godfrey. That is from Koboko. Through the SMS line, this one says, I really enjoyed the speech of the FDC presidential candidate. I agreed with him. Uganda is not okay in terms of corruption, economy, tribalism. Imagine for only motorcycle number plate, you are paying 2 million and 70,000 now for what? Okay. Then that is from Owen, from Amadi Okolo. And this one says, please, your manifesto is clear by changing people's life from a poverty level. This is Chandiga Robert. And then this one says, good evening, presenter. I'm a Gertrude from a Windry. May I know whether this candidate is a West Nile? Of course, he declared that openly earlier on. And she says, if so, I do not see our leaders currently impacting on the community. So what is your plan? I think he responded to that partly, but he will. Then Jacob from Mario Kolo says, Ugandans have lost trust in elections because it's the president who appoints the chairman electoral commission. Now, if you are elected, will you appoint or we elect the electoral commission's chairperson. And then this one says, I'm Gumas Stephen from Luluwiri. I like this talk show. My concern is there was a difference between Nandala Mafabi. Okay, there is a difference between Nandala Mafabi and the corrupt ministers we have. But what he's, okay, I think he's asking about the FDC, internal issues in there, and what you would do to ensure the, those fractions get back together in there. Time is running so fast, but let's first comment on this.
Thank you very much. For the disabled issues, it's the under 5.3, my brother Godfrey. It will get there to talk about increased teachers who are training people in special needs, incentive for companies employing PWs, establishing innovation fund for PWs, enforcing building standards to the infrastructure is convenient for PWs, set up call centers for handwork where PWs in wheelchairs can work and in comfort. We have a full thing to deal with that. Okay. And I can tell you when you read the manifesto, it's very clear. But when I was growing, I saw it even in Mbale, it was working, but most of those have been not closed, okay, which is unfair to this country because they knew in the world they are always disabled people. But also corruption. President Museveni recently said he's also going to fight corruption, but 40 years, where has he been? But to confirm that he can't fight, there's a minister called Rugorobi who stole iron sheets and we got on his building. Recently they removed him, that he had no case to answer. Yet this was a real minister who was caught red-handed. So if you can get a red-handed person and you say he has not stolen, what about those you have not seen but they have stolen? So this one now needs a person who is going to tackle corruption without fear or favor. Wowen, thank you so much. West Nile, yes, we are going to fight the issues of West Nile must come up. When I was in school, West Nile boys and girls were the most proud people. Right now, we had the guys like King, who was a doctor. We had people like, he was an engineer. We had statisticians, in our statistics, we're 19. Out of the 19, I think 4 of them were from West Nile, but they were very proud people because they had cotton money, they had tobacco money, and life was good. Now they don't have this, people have become beggars. We want to bring back people of West Nile to be proud because this country is theirs. Chairman, you see, we have to change systems. We want to reduce powers. If you read our manifesto, it's very clear. We are going to reduce powers if I get the powers of the president. Now, in Kenya, to appoint a chairman of electoral commission, he must go through a process of vetting. The public must vet. So they get people who are vetted and whatever. And this is what should be happening here. But because of this one, he's appointed by one person. But it doesn't matter. He will be there. But I want to tell you that President Amin said that if you are not aware, the referee is biased, you must score a goal which even a blind person must see. So you score and cut the net. So now what I want to ask you people, don't fear to go and vote, so that all polling stations that are only reading Nandala, and when they want to steal, they will not have an opportunity to steal because everything would have been dealt with. What's the difference with, of course, corruption I've dealt with, but internal, you see, in every home, even a home, there are internal issues, but how you manage them is the best thing. For us, we believe we have tried to manage those who never, in FDC, there are people who don't want to be below others, those who have left. Of course, some of them went and formed a party, unfortunately, have not taken off. But that doesn't matter. We are going to continue. This party does not belong to Nandala, does not belong to Swale, does not belong to Mahezem. It belongs to members. So we want to show we're just small units. It also happens in Nandala. Right now, is the Secretary General. But after 2028 will be no more because ours is 2 terms. I'm sure my brother Nguyo by then will be a member of parliament, will take over. I'm sure my son here, Onzima, who will be one of the people who will be taking over leadership. Sorry. Otherwise, some of us, we need to give space to others. Now, we have children of West Nile who have been neglected for a long time. We have a special program for them, and I can tell you the Constitution of Uganda is very clear. It talks about equal development, but also it says that where a place is less developed, you put more emphasis in that area. West Nile has gone down, There's a master plan how to deal with the North and West Nile specifically, and I want you to read the manifesto how to handle that, so that the West Nile comes back on board. That applies even to special interests, even applying to street children who are dropping out of school. We must take them back to school to get basically even those younger mothers who have produced child mothers who have produced. I am going to tell you, I'm going to take a special action on that, so that those children can go and get a skill, so that they can live a life, and we integrate them in our community. You see, it pains me so much. Even you people of West Nile, you are seeing it. Right now, they passed a budget in a loan, they borrowed money to extend power to Sudan, electricity to Sudan. People of West Nile should be complaining. How do you take power to West Sudan when other villages around, even here, West Nile, don't have what? Don't have power. Must have power in our country. Why should we do roads in DRC when we don't have roads in what? In Uganda. You need a president who loves you, who will really be there for you and take care of you. I come here with that because we must develop our country first. Uganda by now would be a first world, but because of the 40 years we have gone back. And you know the reason is that they have just put a handkerchief on our eyes, they have blindfolded us, which must really end. Okay. And I'm praying all of you here support me in this cause, and I can tell you of the 8 candidates who have stood, I'm the one who knows your problem better, who has an idea in the economy, who has an idea how poverty is bad, who has an idea how to develop infrastructure, because I've advised so many governments that have come out, who has an idea to bring back people to their rails, to have a good life, so that there's income, and that's why we're saying they will have money in their pockets. We need a proud Ugandan. We don't want to stop beggars, and that's why we're in this election. Okay. If these 25 years have been around as a member of parliament, yes, it doesn't matter. You read your person, it is for peace. Isn't it for peace?
But we have a program we've tried our best to accommodate, but let's conclude.
Yes, we're about to conclude. Of course, we are here. And you know, by the way, we were supposed to have a presidential debate on Sunday, but I'm told it has been cancelled. That shows that we are going to explain to the people of Uganda, when we have some of those candidates to explain, what have you done? So we come with solutions, and I'm begging you, my mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters, that I come here with solutions with my team. And that's why I'm begging you that you just vote a key and lend us a key for 5 years.
Okay.
And that's why we have all these candidates of ours, the Muslims, the Anguyas, I don't know if it's Onzima, the Onzigonzili, everybody, the masses here, caps, to be voted, and we just lend them so that West Nile comes back, and so that these will be your voices to talk about West Nile. But I come here also as a Arua boy. I have very many interests in Arua, and I will be sure that I'm there at the center of it.
Thank you.
Just one small comment. On Sunday, we still have to go to Zombo with the museum. We had cancelled it because there will be a presidential debate, so we shall go on Sunday to Zombo, maybe Pakwachi, then we'll head out of West Nile. But we want to ask you people of West Nile, that we have talked to you, just prepare this message, become our campaign managers, our people to move our message across, because our message we have has challenges and solutions. Everybody has agreed our manifesto is the one which is practical and which will be used better to develop this country.
Okay.
We need a developed country, we need a united country, we need a reconciled country, we need equity in this country, so that we have people from North can go to West and be treated as brothers and sisters. Go to East and treated brothers, not to have segregation in our country.
Next time I think we need to book more than 2 hours.
Yeah, right. And the bishop
coming.
The bishop is where we're here. I'm sure he will not kill you.
Thank you.
So I can ask my brother Swade to...
Honorable Liliana, thank you for escorting the candidate. Anjima, thank you very much for escorting the president. He's my personal friend. We've shared a number of places together. And Mr. Nguyo, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. And Honorable Mzaidi Kemis, tomorrow you have a program, right?
Yes.
Yes, as we conclude, please, briefly about it.
Thank you very much. Ma suru amari pide ajiwaji miduli dia drusi andro amavali aliavavo drusi amangada Arua primara mamadrudo zo Kenya wadia Ivy East Ivy West Pangisa Tanganyika aji amanjo boradine uputisi amangodo population o amangada head office Kenya amaifuda mam president ni du awindire dia pa awindire pie amanga ifuri tringa rodia amaita simasia ama follow bida market ya ama nga where former mobs was ama fiero primary ama ne amonto borarine afa piridu shadramde anjima di corridor ki anjima di jamini yarki anjima di town yadi ma imi de busemu yarezo amatie ma president de ama muke amana amonto borarine ani rama de radio Pacis ma even mindiro ati ama bi ongoni arata endara and the bad Arua city ma imi dusulozo east west and then Pangisa, Mvara, Windiri, Oyoze, Wichili boys, Garamba boys, Gafla boys, Corridor boys, round town.
The girls will say you are leaving them out.
Huh?
No, yeah, Arua boys are boys and the girls.
Ombazia, dia ma imi, angazo Mvara, Cathedral Emmanuel, Pere, Pario yote mina marizora, ma imi dusi, support mini fema, yare ememwazia fedusi idala ma present ni amamangu kwachi amamangu kwatu tuwaruna awadifo andreke amadusi saziri dere officier amadifuri amazetu passe amado modero premarara.
Okay, thank you very much Awadifo Ambu. Dear listener, that brings us to the end of this particular talk show hosting the FDC presidential candidate. That is
just one small
Honorable
comment.
Nathan Nangala Mafabi. Please, our time is up and I've done whatever I can do to have us on the board. Tera Robert is my name. Continue listening to Radio Pacis.
I wanted to ask you something.
I'm sorry now I couldn't.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you, why are you not allowed to speak?
No. Actually, you see, the segment sessions.
No, so he stopped that.